off to a strong, powerful start. I am your host for this afternoon. My name is Breeze from Raw Marketing Group and Social Content Masters here for Promise Startups. I'm here with some of the best minds in the community, and we just have a roundtable discussion for you guys, ranging from things of personal into the business side of things as well. So I just wanted to have some of our people, and I'm sorry for this fake voice that I'm putting on. I do appreciate you.
Right,
It was a joke at first, and then I kept going with it. I was
Hey,
like,
you,
oh,
hey, you
man,
turned it.
they
You
looking
turned it
at
into
me
a
like they're
character.
really serious now, really
You
serious.
literally turned into a character.
Like, relax, everybody. It's not that harsh.
Right, you turned into a
So
character.
I just wanted to have a few of you guys introduce yourselves, your business, and I'll say an ask, right? If you have an ask or something that you're looking for in a business, make it known now because there's probably somebody in the room or on the camera that can help you with it. So starting off with you, sir.
So let's ask the question, right?
Oh, no, I just want to do introduction.
Oh, the introductions are sorry, guys. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
So, guys, I'm Surreal, guys. So I do photography, videography. I help a lot of businesses, and also work with big events, building their brand online with high quality content, and also building an online presence for social media. Yes.
Perfect. Pass it now.
Yes, my name is Tessie Angel Ramirez, building my business in Test Collab. I gather small businesses info and I refer you clients as it's a very in need and they need people that they can trust and I can send you like clients that want your business. So yeah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alan Cruz. I'm the founder of Poderoso Media. We're a content marketing and storytelling agency helping businesses and brands connect with their audience and customers and also building up their branding to ensure that they stand out in an authentic way that both serves them and resonates with their target audiences.
Very nice. Very nice.
I'm Labricia, and this is
Letitia.
and we're the owners of the Best Cleaning Service. Promise we didn't rehearse that before we got started. Our goal and mission is to help people, bring their environments to that cleanly place where they can continue to thrive and grow. Our cleaners offer not only compassion, but the cleanliness and customer service you need to succeed.
Thank you, Labricia. That was a great intro. I said, Letitia, Labricia, it's now your turn.
Okay. Thank you. I'm Catherine Duncan, and I'm at the Harrison House, historic Harrison House here on the West Side. And we're looking to become an amazing world-class tourism destination or tourism attraction within this historic West Side destination. We want to make it a place where people will want to live on purpose, a place where we can attract tourists from all over the world based on our rich history and culture and arts. And we have lots of children, so we're going to create a space for children to thrive. We're even looking to put in a little Sesame Street if we can. So I'm here to learn as much as I can today about how to attract tourists and make it a safe, exciting place to visit in Las Vegas.
We need to stop by and check you out as well. Tell my sister about it.
Well, the doors are always open 24 hours a day for you. Okay.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice. So getting into the questions, right? A lot of us were experiencing these high, crazy levels of burnout because we've just been doing the business for so long. One of my mentors, he says, your why has to be bigger than the obstacles that are in your face, right? So if you have something right here, your why has to be way bigger so you can still see it on the other side of that. So the first question is, how do you stay connected to your why during seasons of struggle, during seasons of tribulation? Right?
Tribulations.
Yeah.
Who's gonna me?
Yeah.
Okay,
You got the
okay.
mic.
I was like,
right back.
So how do you manage burnouts? I think sometimes I have my phone on do not disturb and I just hit the gym and just turn off my phone. But sometimes I have to respond to a lot of people. There's been moments, being behind the camera, everybody thinks it's so easy filming a big event, doing a lot of shoots. I think you guys maybe don't see behind the camera. There's so much stress because you have to deliver videos, you have to deliver photos. As myself, sometimes like doing this 24/7 from Monday through Sunday, even on Sundays I shoot. There's no one day I don't stop shooting, but there's been moments that I get burned out mentally and I was like, I just turn on my phone. But I remember when I started this a couple years ago, that, okay, I wanted to be booked years ago, but I never thought it was going to come with so much responsibility. And I was just talking to someone the other day. It's like success comes with stress. If you're able to manage stress with success, you're going to be able to become successful. Because if the stress becomes more and more, the more clients you have, the more responsibility, the more you have to take care of a team. And there's so much behind, when it comes to doing it. The way I manage that is just able to remember when I started years ago, when nobody knew me throughout the time. I just go hit the gym and just throw my phone, and after I hit the gym, turn back my phone off. That way I don't get myself burned out, because I've been moments I've been burned out. I've been moments that I don't want to touch my camera, doing this 24/7. That's how I manage my own stress, my own burnout myself. What about you guys?
So I definitely lead a very, very busy life between business and employment and children. One thing that I do to keep my eyes, especially just on my main goal, is remembering it. It's written down. My motivation is my why. So when I look at it, I'm like, okay, and this is gonna sound crazy because I just told y'all I got kids and stuff. They are not my primary motivation. My primary motivation will always be my own success. And that picture that I've painted for myself, whether it be where I'm living at, or what my bank account look like, or it's a multitude of things. But I know that in striving for that success, my family is going to reap the benefits. So on the other half of that, like when I get to the point of burnout, I shut down. It's all about self-care. Is, you know, for me personally, shutting down my phone, turning down the lights, doing some yoga, like really creating a serene environment where I can recharge and relax.
Good answer, Labrisha. I have about been doing the same thing. We had this conversation on our way here. And I think that with being an entrepreneur and being in all of these different environments with these different people and attitudes, and I mean, it just comes and goes and we get used to it. But being able to have silence, complete silence, pampering myself, it has been a big thing for me. Like not just shutting off my phone, but just shutting off everything. No TV, no phone. I don't know. Have any of you guys? Can you remember the last time you sat in total silence?
Absolutely. Total meditation.
And the feeling after that, it was like, so I think that after big events, because we do a lot of them with networking, I do try my best to set aside that time. And the bigger the event is, the more time that I need for recovery. So that's how I deal with it.
Well, I have to say that I just got out of the hospital because I had pushed myself so far and so hard. I was totally stressed out.
Right.
And let me tell you, if you go through that experience, you come out with a new leash on life. So I realized that there's a formula. You're supposed to work 8 hours, play 8 hours, and sleep 8 hours.
Balance.
And then I find myself sitting at the computer for hours. And I realized, sit 45 minutes and get up 15. So a lot of it has to do with discipline. And I hadn't walked in a long time. So I got out of my house and I walked, and I found a wonderful technology center in walking distance from my house. So sometimes just knowing that in order to live, if you want to live successfully, because no matter how much money and success you have, if you don't have your health, it's not going to do you any good.
Right.
And also, look at what you're eating. I just started drinking a gallon of water a day since Monday.
That's awesome.
And I look great, don't I?
You do. Look
You
at her
always,
See
always
there?
look great. You always look great.
Look at her cheeks.
So take care of yourself, and your family is the most important, especially grandchildren.
Right.
I didn't know that till I became a grandmother. I thought I had done everything and had every experience. But that
Reset.
grandchild just opens up another area of your heart. So live long enough to take care of your grandchildren. So get rid of the stress.
Pass it down that way.
Okay.
And so I want to kind of build on what Catherine said. Like the key word there is discipline for me. For me, I have to have a schedule around everything that's important to me, because that's me, I don't know, intentionally prioritizing it, right? So that's family, that's work, that's health, all of these different things, they have to be in place. And when I don't have the discipline, then I can fall deeply into stress, like, just like that. Like tomorrow I can have a terrible day and the day before was just perfect, just because I didn't have today planned out, or I didn't do my due diligence on Sunday or on Monday to set my week up for success. All those things can really add up super quick. So I take a moment every day to just reset my mind and kind of formulate around my why. I have to go back to that every morning, because before you know it, you're 4 days out from the last time that you thought of your why. And you know what I mean? And then you're just frustrated, and you kind of sit there and you're like, why am I dealing with this? Why is this person talking to me like this? Why do I feel like this? And I don't like to get to that point, because it takes way longer to reverse it than to prevent.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yes. I think also remembering the why, but not only just that, also knowing the value behind yourself and focusing in your like passion. And we had a training not too long ago with Rivera, and he mentioned that your why and your passion will always follow you. And at that training, when I was with him, I was telling him I can attest to that, because I just got a call that I'm going on this trip and it's all paid for, absolutely everything paid for. So if you guys see me on trips, it's not because I'm paying for them. I promise you that my trips are getting paid for. Thank you for that, right? Thank you for that. And it's because your passion is following you, and how I think about it is I'm here to complete a mission, and my mission is for advocacy. So I've been doing it for so long that I just was able to show him how many features I've been on in the news. So I'm very proud of the work I do, and also knowing how many careers you can have being one person, but balancing it. I've been in the medical field. I had a cleaning business before, now moving on to furthering my education with advocacy and continuing that, because that is my passion and it will always follow me. But traveling and being happy at the end of the day for what you do.
I love that. I feel like for me, my why has changed a lot over the years. And I feel like naturally that happens, because as human beings, we're always evolving. And I resonate with about the health. Last year, that's what happened with me. I had almost lost my vision in both my eyes and went through multiple surgeries. And so that gave me months of reflection and kind of going deep within myself. And I think pinpointing what matters to me, why am I doing the work that I'm doing, and am I putting myself first? And my why has always been connected, if I can, in one sentence, is to be of service to others. But then also learning that in order to be of service to others, whether it's personally, business, family, and whatever relation, I have to put myself first. And I think that wake up call, and of not knowing whether, because at one point I did lose vision in my left eye, and thankfully I have it back now, but that gave me a lot of introspection and really figuring out what kind of life do I want to live. And it's still continuing to be in service to others. I mean, with Poderoso Media right now is working with businesses to amplify their messaging and the important work that they do for their communities and their customers. And so when I do reach those points of those low points, and I think for me last year, that was, I call it like in the trenches moment where so much was happening, what helped me stay connected to my why was community. As soon as I recovered, I was seeing friends, I was going to different events, and actually the Nevada Startup Conference here was the first locally like Las Vegas entrepreneur event that I've been to since I had started my journey a few years ago. And so that really strengthened my why and gave me more confidence in knowing that there are other people who are like-minded and who resonate in the same way. And we all go through the failures and the setbacks, but knowing that I'm not alone in it. And I think at one point through that health issue, I thought, am I the only one going through this? But you find that in community, you're not the only one. So I feel like going back to community, finding silence. I've been doing meditation and breath work, finding ways to just have stillness and complete silence, and just finding ways that make me come alive, whether it's through dancing, going in nature, also doing traveling as well. It's just a way of just making sure that although I'm 110% in my business, finding space and time for myself as a human being, and being intentional with my priorities, but also I leave space for spontaneity and curiosity, for things to just come up and just go and do them. So it's a balance, and I'm still figuring it out, but I'm grateful that I've come to a place now where it feels right and it makes sense right now, but I know that down the line it'll continue to evolve and change for me as well.
Nah, I really, really love that. There was I wish I can cite the article. It would make me sound much smarter, right? But they said that every 5 years of life, you are a different person, right? The people that you care about, the things that are important to you, all these things kind of shift. And you can look at that just from 0 to 20, right? You look at a 1-year-old, a newborn, and a 5-year-old, huge difference. 5-year-old, 10-year-old, huge difference. 10-year-old teenager, huge difference. So it doesn't stop just because we're older now. If there was terminologies for all these in betweens, like from 35 to 40, you're a mid-teen ager, like some, you know what I mean, some new name,
Right.
Then yeah, that would be something that we could kind of track. But you have to know that about yourself. And also, to your point, putting on your own mask before you put on somebody else's is what they teach you at the airport, right? And each one of us is a self-generator, a self-manifester, right? So with that being said, if you don't take care of yourself, you're not giving that energy that everybody around you deserves to be able to build their own energy off of. And you can do much more for others than you can for yourself if you're in the right alignment internally, that I've found, right? And you can believe whatever you want to there, but I strongly believe in that.
Right.
So going into the next question, this is one reason why a lot of us kind of give up on our why, is the funding of the business, right? The financial turmoil. So the next question is, what are some creative ways that you guys have funded your business?
All right. I was going to ask the question, but you got it.
I got you.
I got you. So I feel like the funding, I say I just always focus on building relationships and also through leads through social media. Like, while I was talking earlier, I was getting like a lead right away. I was getting leads every single time when I'm like doing something else. It's having the right content that attracts the right customers. The right customers will get you the right leads. Also, the relationships I built throughout many years. I have relationships that I know when I was 18. I have relationships when I was 14. And those relationships, I still maintain them and keep them. I never sold them nothing the first time when I met them when I was a kid. And throughout the time, they built the trust, and I just built relationship. I went to their parties. I went to their Christmas events. I went to their Thanksgiving. I went to their Friendsgiving, just because they invited me in those holidays. And I did a lot of those multiple times. And I went to a lot of network events for so many years here in Vegas. Throughout the many years, I started to do that when I was in different industries in the past. I built those relationships, and I still keep them. I have 1 hour phone call with some people eventually in the phone, because I talk a lot. I'm a yapper. They call me, I'm a professional yapper sometimes, because I've been talking for hours, in the phone. I talk with people in the phone like for an hour, just build that strong rapport. Just tell them, hey, how's your day going? What you been up to? Let's catch up for some coffee. Let's go catch up for something. And even though like I know they know what I do throughout the time, they just become naturally, they're like, I want to work with you. I seen your stuff and I seen your work. And then eventually, that's the thing. I get the leads through that, and the sales and all of that by itself organically, because the way you are, the way you treat people, the way you care for people, not just chasing them because they're a dollar sign. No, I really truly care people. That's I'm very responsible when I tell you guys like, oh, let's meet this day, because I really take care of my clients and even their brands. Even my clients have said it themselves, that the way I care about them, because I care so much that my reputation is on the line. But that's throughout many years. I've been doing that for many years. But tell me, what about you guys now? Let's go.
You're good. So I would say we've done a lot of things to fund our business. Everything from like holding events to self-funding. We both currently carry a regular job. So it's like sometimes we have to funnel money in that way. But also offering up our services to everybody. Like there's no discrimination. when it comes to who we're willing to work with. And then again, like you said, creating those relationships for long-term repetitive work. That goes such a longer way to helping us find like the sustainability that we're looking for sure.
Mhm.
So the most powerful thing I think that we've done is make those right relationships and be in the right place at the right time. Whether it was a paid marketing event, it was a free marketing event,
A trip to the chicken place.
You're right, because we meet them. We meet people everywhere. We are actual walking billboards and advocates for our own business. I am a proud business owner, and I don't mind saying, I think that's like the second thing. Hi, I'm Letitia Johnson, and I own a cleaning company. It's not being cocky. It's not being weird or arrogant. It's being me. So being a walk-in billboard for my sister and myself and our business has been one of the biggest ways we've created funding, in a sense that we get to come into places like this and market with other people, and we have opportunities, software, brains. I think 2 brains is better than 1, 4 eyes better than 2. But overall, I think that people, connections, networking has been our best stream of income.
So for me, creative funding is always something that I've been super interested about. I'm like a scholar when it comes to stuff. I get so deep into one thing that I have to know everything about it and how to make it happen. You know what I mean? So there's been a few different things that I've learned over the time, right? Grants, for one, is something that we all want. Everybody wants the free money that we don't have to pay back. But with any form of funding, there's a level of work that you need to put into it. There's a level of investment that you need to put into it. They're not just going to give you something for nothing. And a lot of the times they're just looking, are you putting that energy into your own business, right? Before they put anything behind it. So when it comes to grants, I have like a virtual assistant. So we have one client where she gives us what's called a grant funding answer key. Mm-hmm. So it's like the typical questions that they'll ask you on most grant applications. You already have them there on a piece of paper or on a Google document, so you can copy and paste those in. And so I give that to a virtual assistant, pay her like $7.50 an hour. And she works 4 days a week, 11 to 3, Monday through Friday. And that's her only job. It costs me $600 a month. Your only job is to apply to grants. Eventually, you're going to get one, right? And then it's going to pay off whatever you paid her, you know? So I would say just have a cushion of like 2 months of that and then try it. Our problem is that we dip our toes in and then bring them out and then dip them in and then bring them out. When any one of these things will work, you just have to do it all the way to fruition. I think, one bad thing to do is to always bootstrap the business, which is just paying with your own money and your own funds, because these are things that you're supposed to be investing to create that generational wealth for your family. That's why nobody that's at the higher levels of business will tell you, yeah, I bootstrapped it. They say they maybe did that in the beginning, but upon having 2 or 3 other successful businesses, they're like, yeah, bank money, right? We want lines of credit. We want credit card stacking. We want all these different forms of money, not so we can burn through it, but so that we can have access to it. Because we don't make the best decisions when we're stressed out like crazy. You have no money. And so you're trying to figure out, are you going to run the business the way that you know that it needs to be ran for the longevity of it? Or am I going to keep the lights on? That's a terrible decision to have to make, right? And then you throw your business in the trash and you tarnish your reputation, and it takes you longer to get the leads that you're looking for. Versus if you just have access to $250,000 in credit card stacking, you have access to a grant funder now, right? All these different things. We have too many hats that we wear in business, and none of us are experts at all these different things. I'm not as strong of an operator as I am a marketer, obviously, right? Marketing is my thing, but operating and working with all these people and making sure that they're doing the task and making sure everything is delegated and the know-how is there, that's not my specialty, right? I would love to bring somebody who can come and be a finite and institutional piece of the business to take care of that for us. Because before you know it, you start learning operations, you're doing that well. You start learning marketing, you're doing that well. And then something else in the background just completely crumbles. Oh, now you don't have a bookkeeper. Now IRS is coming after you. Now you don't have any extra funds on the back end. But if you were always sitting on money, you would always make the best decisions. You would never let an opportunity go past you, right? So that's what happens. In 1 year, you have 25, 6, 7 different opportunities that come and they go. And every time it's like, man, it's bad luck. No, you could have had good luck, which was opportunity meeting preparation, but you just weren't prepared again and again and again. So I would say just, man, fix your credit. Personal credit, business credit. We know it takes a long time, but we've known it for 10 years and it didn't take 10 years to fix. You know?
Well, I wish I had known this when I was your age. But I just want to add to that sometimes looking for money gets in the way of getting what you want.
Mhm.
Because a lot of things don't require money to get. So, because when I first went into business, I was like, oh, I don't have money to do this. I can't hire anybody because I don't have money. And someone turned to me and said, have you ever thought of getting a partner? So that's the big difference. Instead of trying to hire somebody and pay them, partner with somebody and make money together. That took me a lot of years to learn. And sometimes you might need something. Oh, I need some money so I can go get this. If you always put money in the middle, what you're looking for may be next to you, but because you're looking for the money, you don't get what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So you might not want to leave with, oh, I need money to do this. I need money to do that. Just go do that and forget about the money and go get whatever it is you would buy with the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And information is so free now. And I think that sometimes we have these ideas that are too old, and they're old by like 3 years. You know, it's like, it's 3 years ago. It couldn't have changed that much. No, it changed that much, right? Like, I don't know, this might be a silly example, but I found out that like water is super cheap. Surprise, you know what I mean? But I went to like water.com. That's not a advertisement for them, but they do like the water delivery, you know, those little sparklet trucks or whatever. Why did they tell me it's $8 a month to rent the whole water dispenser and have it in the house? I was like, man, I didn't know that. I thought you had to spend hundreds of dollars to have the little water dispenser where you put the 5-gallon jugs. They're like, no, it's $8 a month. You know, the jug is $7 a month. I was like, why am I going to the store and buying water? I cash it out right away. I'm like, I'll have you guys delivering these jugs right at the house. I got a water dispenser now. They just delivered that. It was free delivery because they wasted my time, and I went in, talked to the chat person, got them delivered free. You missed the day once, you missed the day twice. It's mine now. Free delivery, you know. But we don't know these things because we just assume what they are. Like, if you look from the outside, you would think that a delivery system or something like that for water is going to cost you way more than it would to go to the store. But that's not the case, and it's like that with a lot of things. But now you cannot just Google it. You can actually ChatGPT, and it'll give you the link directly to where to get it the cheapest.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I use ChatGPT for. I'm asking it to search what exactly I need and what are the different ways that I can make this thing possible. And it'll give you so many different creative ideas that you never thought about. Like you said, partnership, right? To be like, oh yeah, this venture capitalist. Oh yeah, did you know that there's a place in Las Vegas where all they do is invest in business like yours? And you're like, I didn't know that. Where are they? Down the street. You're like, on the same street as me. I've been going past this place all the time, and you just don't know because you didn't search it. So I would say anything that you're looking for, search it, ChatGPT it, see the why, the how, see where to find access to it. Mm-hmm. Oh, pass this microphone now.
Not to get too political or anything like that, but I think we had a conversation when I first met you, and you know, campaign season is very good for us. When it comes to marketing, oh my gosh, it was the best. Can't wait for those to come again. And working, you know, finding your niche, but also knowing where the money is at. It's very important. Something someone will never tell you, but you're here, so now we're telling you, right? Knowing where you can provide your services. Again, campaign season was great for me because I was able to combine two communities. So the individual I worked for did not speak Spanish. I speak Spanish. He wanted to reach, you know, individuals from my community. So I was the middle person, and I got paid for that. Did marketing for him. I got paid for that. And it was great, right? You don't have to show you're in the front. You can always work from the back end, and they will respect that. It just depends how you want to put yourself out there. Me personally, you know, let's talk money. It was very great for me when it came to that season. and knowing who you're working for, who they are. Obviously, to me, it's very important that we do align with values, and that was important. And they also knew that, so that was great. But money doesn't hurt when it's seasonal. So I love that. And then another way I have been funding my business now is I go to the library. A lot of people do not know this, but if you want a big flyer, the library, they have it for free. They have classes, right? That people from the community go and host classes there, and they're free. You can rent a laptop. You can use their space to have conferences there. You don't have to spend money to go rent a office and have a conference there, like a consultation. You can have it there at the library. Go and seek these free resources because they are out there. Especially come to Nevada Partners. That's where we're located, but it's Promise Startup, right? Where you can get a free portrait if needed. But yeah, being in the community and knowing what you need for your business, like you mentioned, sometimes it doesn't have to come out of our pocket. The community has it for us, so we have to go look for it.
I will keep it short because I feel like everyone already said everything that I was thinking, but I wanted to just echo off partnerships, and I think also exchanges with other business owners. That's something that's I'm newly learning is with other business owners who I've reached out to or building just genuine, deep relationships with them, and just how can we support each other. I've been doing something where in exchange for my knowledge and expertise, if I needed something or support with something, working with other business owners who might have that, but providing them equal value. So in exchange, right? I think all of us have some kind of skill or expertise that we have, and there are other business owners who might require what we do. And maybe both of us don't have the monetary value to give, but we do have that actual expertise to execute it for them and them us. So I've been exploring that as a creative way where if I can't afford, for example, I was exploring like coaching programs, and lo and behold, somebody who's literally based in the East Coast reached out to me. We just connected on LinkedIn and was like, I would love to, help coach you, and in exchange, help me with some marketing things. And so we talked through it and kind of, built out a little proposal for ourselves. But I would have never have thought that that was a creative way where I'm trying to build myself up in my own mindset and my own skills, both personally and business wise. And I was like, how am I going to afford some coaches who can cost up to upwards of $10,000 plus? And the fact that that opportunity sort of just rolled into me made me realize, wow, I do have value to give. And there are others who are seeking that where we can help each other out in an exchange, peer to peer, not as someone who's just trying to learn or admire, but we both have something of value that we can help teach each other and implement for each other. So I definitely would say, in connection to deep relationships, don't forget about that, because there's always ways to do partnerships and exchanges. And I'm now newly learning that right now.
Now I got a question.
Okay, as a viewer here in the incubator, my question is, as Cruz just said that he does the exchange of value. Can you give the audience how do you monetize that, and how someone that has no idea, how can they do it? Can you give them an example, please?
Yeah, I can. Actually, well, for me, I can speak on my own experience. For me, when I started to get business contracts for content marketing, and for me, it was important to build a portfolio of proof that I can deliver on what I say I'm going to deliver. I'm very big on showing versus telling. And for me, and this might be, maybe you can pick out cherry pick bits of what I'm going to tell you, because it's not for everyone. I'm learning that there's always a different way for everybody. But for me, the way that it worked was, and before I was able to monetize off it as I'm doing now, was first identifying people who worked in businesses that aligned with me, that I were interested in, looking at their companies, at maybe what they were missing in terms of marketing, website, social media, and then building a connection with them, a genuine connection with them, and building a relationship, and sort of little by little telling them, oh, what I think about this thing on their website, or possibly, oh, it'd be so cool if you had a case study because you did this project recently. And so in a sense, it's kind of like teaching, right? You're giving like bits and pieces. And again, this is what I have been doing. And so eventually that actually led up to people saying, hey, since you know so much and you've been giving me these tidbits and pieces, why not we explore actually hiring you or even working together, because I can do this and maybe you're missing that. But again, for me, it's gone back to what's been echoed already. Even Surreal had said it with creating deep relationships. And for me, it did require having one or two clients that I did for free. I needed to build a portfolio, and I recognized at the time that I was in a place where I could do that. Not everyone can, and I think you need to recognize and assess your situation. But I was able to do that. And then once I had that, the doors opened where I had proof and case studies and could actually show my value and what I've delivered for other people. But I think it's also depending on assessing on your situation as well. But for me, that's kind of what I did at first a few months ago. And since then, have been able to build off of that. So hopefully that can have some help in the question, but I'm also happy to discuss further and maybe give some more tidbits, because everyone is different, I'm learning, but at least that's what has been able to help me.
If I could just add on as well, try to identify what your services are worth as well. Like if you don't already have a good grip on the pricing and things that you offer, that's something else that ChatGPT can help, kind of isolate, right? They'll give you a range of what these services usually go for. And then when you're making strategic partnerships, you also got to make sure that you're actually giving them something that they need the same way that you need whatever service that is. Because sometimes it might be equivalent on the monetary exchange, but what they're giving you is way more than what you're giving them. That's still asymmetrical, and that might not benefit you in the long term, especially if it's something that you might need repeat help on.
I just want to plug in a little bit here as well. So I actually had a business meeting this morning. I take a little more direct approach. I got a book. Somebody gave it to me. I looked at the book. I'm like, hey, I could really use this. And I reached out to the author and we set up a meeting. And it wasn't like, I called and then we had a meeting next day. Like it was weeks ago. But we had that meeting this morning and I approached the situation with the value that I could bring, not necessarily asking for anything, but hey, I love your content. I love this book. I gave this gentleman like where I could use it at in my business, in my life. You know what I mean? Like, how can I do that? And then that conversation kind of segued into me getting coached off of the topic of the book and everything. And then us actually building out a partnership where I'm able to, not only refer him to the people that I work with, but he's able to do the same for me.
I love it, Lucretia. I do, because you were able to find value when somebody else was trying to create value for a different purpose. So it was able to serve you and it was able to serve them at the same time. And I think anytime we can collab, because that's what it's about, collaborations, is what do you have that can help me? And what do I have that can help you? I think when we could come together in that such a matter, we're able to grow effectively.
You have a question?
Comment.
Yeah, shoot.
I want to say thank you because this is truly what I needed to learn. Is to trust in the good of humanity when I've been hurt so much. I cannot just. It takes a team to make the mission. And because I've been hurt so much, I thought I had to do it all on my own because it wasn't safe. Do I need to repeat that? Okay, so for the viewers, because I have been hurt so bad and saw the darker side of humanity with the point that I was able to handle, I didn't trust accepting help or being that help to others because I was being taken advantage of so much
that literally this is very healing to, open my heart. I even have one of those golden books. I haven't yet to open it because I'm like, I don't want to read. I don't learn that way, anymore. So it's like having one-on-one. It means so much coming here and hearing it that I can trust, and having the personal examples that I can, do what you say.
Yes.
Yeah, Jason, thank you. That's very vulnerable of you, and I do want to thank you for also sharing that. A lot of us do come from unprivileged communities. A lot of us are still struggling, and it takes a team, but it also takes yourself to be like, all right, we got this. Let's do it. And just finding your niche, and also having those tough conversations and realizing that if one business is not for you and you left that business, it's for a reason that it's not for you. And if you really want to follow your passion and continue to grow, you have, even if it makes you cry, because yeah, the money is good in this field, but this is your passion. You have to realize that it's okay, and also self-respect yourself, but let your team know, or the individual you're working with, that I'm sorry, I do apologize, but that no longer serves me. I see myself being in this position, and I want to grow to become this person, and I hope you can respect that. And if you cannot, I have to know when to remove myself from that situation. So it took me a while to know where I want to be and what I want to be, and to value myself, but it's never too late. Every day is a new day, and it starts today.
Well, I got a question to ask you guys. Let's what's let me actually this question. What's one way your customers have surprised you? Something that your
Man.
So first of all, people surprise me every day. My bar be set low when it comes to the public, just being honest. But one of the biggest things has been how I've seen people show up for themselves when we come into their space. Like a lot of our reoccurring clients in the cleaning field, especially, like we'll come in and it'll be a disaster. They'll hire us, we'll get them to this baseline, and then as we continue to work with them, when we come back, it's not as messy. They're proud of themselves because they're like, I wiped off the counter the other day. And it's like, so seeing them show up for themselves and knowing that we've been inspirational in that manner. So I just, and then when they be paying, I'd be a little surprised sometimes with that too.
At times, right?
Me as well. I do like to be able to walk into a home that I've been servicing on one of our regular clients, whether it is a commercial, because we are doing more commercial properties now, and the bathrooms are still clean. And we had a talk today with our team, and we talked about bathrooms. So surprise. I love that, and the tips as well. So
Well, when we first opened the Harrison House, I felt bad charging people to come in. I didn't understand why. I mean, I knew people would come and they would have a good experience, and I thought that was great. And I felt so bad. I was just so happy they would come. So I didn't think of it as a commercial enterprise at first, because it was just a place for healing and being able to express your hurt from being in different situations and just relationships. So then we got a social media team in, and they were here this morning, Darlene and Critique, and they actually, put a fee on the website. So when people paid to come, I was like, oh my God, this is great. But the last time 3 young ladies came in was last week. They not only did they book online and pay their fees, they came into the house, and I didn't have a tour ready for them. As a matter of fact, we had an event going on. I was like, oh my God, these 3 people are here on a tour and I can't deal with them now. And I just said, why don't you come on into the event? And they did. And when they left, they paid twice as much more than what they booked. So that was my surprise.
Surprise. I don't know. I have just too many surprises, I think, in business sometimes. Like I've had 2 separate customers give me laptops when I was in need of them, right? Like one time I was in need, he was just like, I'm tired of seeing you on anything but this Mac here. So I got me one of his MacBooks, but he's like a tech founder, so he has a few different MacBooks, he says, lying around. So he gave me one. But there was like a time where my main driver, my main laptop, just broke on me, like in two pieces. You know what I mean? And one of my customers, he like shipped me this Microsoft Surface Pro laptop to just work on, because he's like, man, you've been doing so much for me. I have this laptop, but I'm not a tech guy, so it's just been sitting here in a box. So he gave it to me. And then one of my friends and clients, she just recently gave me one of those like dual screen monitors that you can put on the laptop, so you got 3 screens now.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that was really dope. And then, you know, I'll say on the flip side of that, like some negative surprises. Some negative surprises, like you know, like helping a business to 5x the business that they're getting, so that they can realize that they don't want to do this business. Like, oh man, I thought this was going to be way different when we grew it, you know, and now it's just a bunch of other problems that I'm having. You know, I'm hiring people, and I just learned that I don't like to work with people. I don't like to manage people, and I would rather just be in the field doing the actual work versus owning the business. Right. So I've had times where it was that, and I'm like, well, I'm glad to help you find it out. But, like, we just built this website, you know what I'm saying? Like, or we just built this thing for you, and you kind of just are throwing it in the trash. But I'm glad to get you to your next phase of life. So there is the caveat there. But those are kind of surprises to me all the time. I'm like, man, you only identified yourself as a realtor for 10 years, and now you're just like, nah, you know, I really been on the mortgage side of this. I don't want to sell homes anymore. Type deal.
Well, let me tell you guys my surprise, then I'll give it to you guys. So one of my clients recently, a couple weeks ago, she gifted me 2 Gucci watches. I was like, you know what I mean? I know, right? I know. You know, there was you know, she's like, hey, you know, we're blowing up the business. We're making so much leads through this. She's like, in appreciation, besides that I paid you, and I am so thankful for her. I'm super grateful. You know, like, you know, it's with Sonia. She's the one that showed you guys the results. She literally gifted me 2 Gucci watches a couple weeks ago, and I was like, she's like, come stop by the office. She's like, I have a surprise for you, and I was like, what is it? She's like, just come to the office. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'll drive over there. She's like, come the next day. I need you to be here. So when I came to the office, she's like, pick a watch, and I was like, she's like, you know what? Just keep both of them. So keep both of these watches. You know, there's been many people in my life that have gifted me stuff, and like so much stuff. If I told you guys, there's been so much stuff I could tell you, but like that story recently this year has been very surprising. You know, for a client to give me 2 Gucci watches, I don't know how much they're worth, but it's okay. But you know, I don't. But it's a way to appreciation that, you know, or blowing up her business on social media as an appreciation. I'm told I'm very grateful for that. I was super shocked. You know, it's something that doesn't happen all the time, and you know, but I'm super grateful for her. And but that's my story. But let's go before we go to the next story.
Well, thanks for sharing, Terrell. Definitely have not gotten Gucci watches, but if not yet, if you're hearing me and you want to sponsor me, though, welcome. I haven't really gotten like major items, but whatever I have gotten, I have to say I'm very grateful. Working during campaign season, I was very privileged to work with someone, and I needed like a screen protector for my laptop because of privacy. So he's like, "Don't worry, I got you." So you know, it was that, and then where we had to have meetings, I was already on schedule to meet with him, and he's like, "I can't make it. I'm sending you food." You know, that was good too. Then I can't make it to that appointment. I know we were on schedule. Here's $30. Go have lunch. Like that was very cool, right? I really did appreciate that. Being an entrepreneur, obviously, and being in the advocacy world, my 2 last trips that were fully funded. One was in Atlanta, Georgia, everything paid for. Absolutely did not pay out of pocket, and I'm grateful for that as well. And my last trip, which was last weekend, so I came back Monday night, was in Carson City. That was also fully paid, and I'm grateful for that as well. Um, they're gifts, but in a different way of gifts, right? So I'm just grateful that I have gotten these opportunities. I have gained so much knowledge, so much value that our community has, and continues to grow. But they do expect me to come back to the community and speak about it. And that's why, you know, I'm able to attend these meetings, these events, and go on these trips. But I promise you that if I talk to you, I will tell you something that I have learned on these trips. And it's one of the biggest lessons I have learned is to value myself because I'm a woman, because, you know, I'm Hispanic, Latina, I can speak 2 languages, blah, blah. But like everyone in this world has so much value. And that's the thing that they really engraved in me that I have to bring to my community. So I have to tell you, every one of us in this building, in this community has value. And that's what they wanted me to bring back to you guys.
I love that. I love.
I think that's how you know you're moving in your purpose too. When
Yeah.
you start getting free trips and stuff like that, and they want to see
Right,
you
right.
around. Yeah. For real.
I've had a few surprises. The first one was my first client actually told me, and I thought it was going to be like a negative criticism. We were on a call together, but she was saying, you know, Alan, like with all the love, like you need to raise your prices. And I was like, and I think like when you first start, I've been doing content marketing for a while now, but when you first start out with actually monetizing and you have that imposter syndrome of like, oh, I don't think I'm worth that much because I haven't done that much. But then to have someone that you're working with very closely will tell you that straight, unprovoked, just tell you just straight up in the middle of our call where we're talking about the different proposals and deliverables for the project that we're working on. And so I was like, you know what? I took that as a sign. I was like, you know, this is a sign. I've been, you know, wrestling with it in my own mind, but for someone in the external to say that to me and reflect that back to me. So I sure did. Raise my prices. And I wasn't scared about it. It gave me more confidence. And in a way, it's a surprise, but I think also a lesson and a takeaway. Another one, it just happened recently. I've been traveling a lot, but I was doing a consultation with somebody, and I was in San Francisco last week, about a week and a half ago. And this is a consultation where me and this individual, they reached out to me and we were just discussing and, you know, kind of going through what they were looking for, proposals and deliverables. And I was just happy I love the conversation and who this person was. And I was like, I'm happy to just meet up. You know, we can get like something and we can just talk through, and if I can be a resource. And again, what I echoed before with, let me just provide value because I genuinely believe in what you're doing. And it aligned with my purpose and it feels right. We only had a 2-hour conversation. I expected nothing out of it, but maybe we'll move forward or maybe he'll keep me in the back of my mind. And he compensated me for the conversation. He actually compensated me, and I wasn't expecting it. $1,000 just for speaking. And when I tell you, you know, like my jaw dropped. I genuinely just wanted to help him and just talk through things. And we then, you know, kind of followed up, and I was in shock, and I was like, because I wasn't expecting that at all. But I think another surprise and lesson was that I think just being genuine and wanting to genuinely give and be a resource for someone has been a way where building those deep relationships and connections go such a long way. Because although we're not working on a project presently, I'm being kept in mind. But I think the fact that, you know, I was compensated for that also just taught me that, oh, you know, let me not be afraid to compensate for my time. Although, like I said, I was very happy to speak with this individual. I believed in what they were doing. I think that was just another reflection to me of, yeah, like, you know, you're on the right path, have that confidence in yourself, and don't be afraid to, you know, speak up with your work, what you're worth. So I've been having those great surprises and just takeaways and lessons aside from the compensation, which is amazing. But I think instilling that actual confidence in myself that I can continue to take with me as I continue to evolve and scale in my own business.
We got a question from Elias too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got a question from Elias.
So this is coming in from Elias. What's one thing or goal you're excited about and working towards in 2025? So this is maybe something that we can hear about at a future conference, hopefully.
Yes, I would.
So I'm gonna say it's a lot.
Yours.
I know.
Do yours.
Okay. So I would say my biggest goal, and hopefully it comes to fruition a lot faster than
Oof. You said I
we
hope.
anticipate.
What?
But is our third location. We have done all of the work and really put ourselves out there to scale the business in a way that we hope to. But I don't think the hope was as big as it is becoming. So I just want to say third location, we are on the way. And it's not even just about us growing as entrepreneurs or growing the brand, but it's also about actually touching the communities that we were reaching out to, and then bringing jobs and really creating I don't even want to say creating an environment where people feel heard and safe and are able to get compensated all at the same time.
And then still remain in the space of opportunity, because that's what we like to have in our segment. Opportunity. Oh, she ain't done.
I ain't done.
Ladies.
No, because I had that conversation this morning, and this was very, very important. So one of the topics of the conversation was, instead of being specifically goal oriented, being more directional or path oriented, so you don't necessarily have those blinders on and you miss out on other opportunities. So like there was a $20,000 contract, and it's like, oh, that's great, like let's go get it. Now if the next goal was like, okay, let's do only 25,000, I would have missed 100,000 goal or opportunity that was sitting over there. Yeah, running for an extra 5. So I did want to point that out, because it's something that's heavy on my spirit right now, is to definitely just become more process oriented versus just the goals.
I hope this is safe. Should I stand up? Kind of piggybacking off of that, I'm really big on relationships, real relationships. I did learn that from dealing with some other people prior, but sustainable relationships, growth, so that we continue to grow. I know that we do need people in order to execute what we have going on moving forward. So really building stability from others and creating, like I said, opportunity and space. Oh, and that's why we are having the marketing event. That's why you should have snatched it, sister. So that is why we are really going out of our way for the best marketing event this year, so we can create a space for other businesses to flourish. I think that our the first round was awesome. Everybody enjoyed themselves. We all were able to gain in that manner, but this time I would like for us to reach for the stars. So I'm excited about the event. I'm excited about the partnership. I hope to see everybody there, even if you're just walking in the door for.
It's on June 21st.
Next person at the East Library. Yeah. Next.
That was great. The question was, what do we see happening in 2025?
Yeah, what's one thing that you're excited about? One goal?
Well, I believe that this year, before the year is out, we're going to have a vision of what this neighborhood's going to be when it's finished.
Right.
And more than just a vision, but a way to move forward, making that vision become a reality. And I alluded to it earlier because it's going to happen here in this Envision Center.
Yes.
This space that we're in now is exactly what we've been waiting for, so that people like us can all come together and talk about what good things we want in this neighborhood, what we want to see, what kind of businesses we want in here, what things we don't want to see, and to be able to use all this great technology to actually put it where people can see it, and once they can see it, they know it's a reality, and then we'll be able to attract all of the. I feel like there's so much wealth in those opportunity zones stored up for us. that as soon as we get ourselves
So much.
together
Right.
and get that whole, maybe we do this African village with
Okay.
with the Latina theme to it or something like
Okay.
that. But we,
And
you
sauce
know,
it
you
up.
know, right? And love to see like if we have an African village, maybe some kind of participation from all the main African countries, so we can get the clothes and the food and the things that we've never been really exposed to. And I think that there's a big demand for that. So I believe this neighborhood is just ripe for such an activity. So we can just get our highways together, our streetscapes, and get it cleaned up and make it safe. You know, I believe we're going to become that by New Year's Eve, maybe. Come on now.
I do
Yeah.
believe that. Can I piggyback off of that?
Oh, go ahead. Okay.
As you all may not know, I used to live right around the corner. I've been in Las Vegas since 2012. So my stumping grounds is like right around the corner. They are right now. But I do believe that this community did create a different space in my brain. Like I was able
Right.
to deal with so many different cultures, and I did gain so much. I was an actual student at the school, and
Really?
that's how I found this place. A friend told me about it, and she was like, you need to go up to Nevada Partners. They got a resource center. Everybody up there super cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I kept writing past, and then when I Googled it, it drove me to the school, not knowing that it was across. And I'm like, I'm in the wrong place.
Right.
But no, it all sunk in. So I have gained so much from this community. I believe that the school helped us with my foundation and cleaning. So that's why I was coming back to get the resource. So it was like kind of trippy when I pulled in, like, hold up, this is my school, but the girl said a resource center over here. So where do I go?
Across the street.
Okay, literally. Okay, stumping ground. So I just want to say thank you to you for opening up the doors for everybody and everybody else who has made an attribute to the community. I do take advantage of all the resources. You all too. Pictures, words of encouragement, this podcast, relationships.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you all.
One thing for me this year that I'm just looking forward to is just extracting myself out of like the day-to-day operations of the business. Been working on it so long. And I have such a big team now. It's like editors and videographers and virtual assistants and media buyers, all these different things. And at the end of the day, it's like, man, I'm at these last couple of people that I need, right? The sales people and the customer service people, right? People who can just talk to the customers on a daily and keep them informed. And then somebody who can just bring in those sales and the leads. And those are two things that I've constantly hoarded to myself that I'm just ready to relinquish. But I don't appreciate the day-to-day like customer service side of it as I used to. And I think it's just because my mind moves a million miles a minute. And so like I'll look at one situation and I have a full roadmap for it out to like 5 years, for somebody else. And then like their site only goes up to like 30 days. And so it's like, okay, right. So I'll see. And I'm like, man, this is what we need to do next. We say this is what we agree on. And then this is going to be the next step. So as we're moving through that, I'm just sitting back. I'm watching the money grow for them. We're watching the systems work for them. And then all of a sudden they're like, man, I want to try to do this. And it's just like left field. And it's just like, okay, well, we can do that, but it's not going to make or break the strategy that we're doing. It's not going to bring more money in than what we're currently doing. It might actually slow it down, but that's fine because we have enough to keep it going. And they're just like, yeah, it's just, I have to do it right now, and I don't want to have to be a part of those conversations anymore because I want to do it. But on a grand scale, I'm looking out for the business on a long term. And I know what our strategy is going to be, regardless of anything. It's ironclad. It's demolition proof. Like nothing should be able to come in and mess this up. So as long as we stay there, but then sometimes it's like, man, we needed this flyer for some event that we had, that when they had the event, it was 4 people there, and I'm like, well, you're upset with us or the team because it took us 2 days to make a flyer versus maybe the 24-hour turnaround that we were hoping to do. It's not that huge, but to have a conversation about that is silly, So those are kind of some of the things I'm looking for this year. Is just I want to get out of it and only talk when it comes to like maybe once a month on a results basis. Like this is what we've done over the last month. you have an account manager that talks to you weekly or basically a few times. And I think it just makes everybody more comfortable.
So we definitely need to connect after this.
That's
So
why I like
something
him.
that I can really like truly help you with.
Need it.
My background has always been sales, marketing, and customer service.
Oh man,
So
need it.
one of the things that I've done in our own business is really develop those processes, those scripts for
Yeah.
success. Like I said, we only been open since February of 2024, and we're working on location number 3. Okay,
Man.
like we get it in,
Yeah.
and it's like I've been able to take all of my knowledge from, you know, the corporations I've worked with, my experience as an entrepreneur, and just kind of bundle that up. So we'll definitely connect and we'll get you going, because it's a lot easier than what people anticipate when they go for those kind of goals. But a lot of it is like building out metrics.
Yeah.
So they continue to have that focus on what you're trying to get to. Because if you don't do your metrics, then you out of here.
If you don't have any KPIs, it's finished.
Right.
And then on the other side of that is, how are you presenting the position? Because ultimately, when you hire people, you have to sell your vision to them.
Right.
Right, so we can be on the same page. Otherwise, it's not gonna work.
Like
So it's so funny. I'm a nervous Nelly when it comes to stuff. Like when I'm teaching people, I'm training them. It takes so much for me to like let it go. I'll be like, "You got it, right?" They're like, "Yeah." I give them the scripts, I give them the SOPs, I give them all the systems, I give them the measurements and what we're gonna do. Make sure they got everything. But then they just, when it comes to handing it over, I'm like, "All right, do you got it though?" "Yeah, I got it." I'm like, "All right, cool." You know what I mean? Still holding on to it. And then, you know, because I mean, I've just had these, and you have to know that when you're training people, they're gonna make mistakes. So you have to just give them enough rope to quote unquote hang themselves with, but not bind the business up with, right?
So
So
I've trained a lot of people
yeah,
in a lot of different things, as well as like just being in the educational space with young children. One thing that I found is the actual, like, I'm gonna tell you how to do it, of course. I'm gonna give you all the tools to do what you need to do. But at the same time, like while I'm feeding you this information, our next step is you gotta feed it back to me.
right.
Like I need you comfortable. And then it also opens up that gateway for communication, because I put you kind of in a vulnerable space where you're doing something new, but it's me and you one-on-one.
Right.
So if you do have those kind of hiccups, you're gonna come to me first.
Yeah, but you feel comfortable coming.
Yeah.
I want you comfortable while we talking about it.
Yeah.
I did this, but ooh.
But these are the human
What do
nature
I do
things.
next? Right.
I've had
It
these
happens.
times it's like, man, you're handing it over and it's like they promise up and down they got it. They regurgitated it back to you, gave them some practice, right? You do it in front of them, have them do it in front of you, and then have them do it alone and then check the work on it. And then by the time you hand it over, as soon as you hand it over, they drop it and everything is done.
Yeah,
And it's just like,
but
all right, well.
I think that the foundation with you and your customer. Sorry. Thank you, sister. We've been able to sustain by having that one-on-one intimate relationship with our customers. So if they do drop the ball, you already did your part as far as setting the bar and knowing who you're dealing with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Regardless, they're going to spend with you, or they're going to contact you because they value your service, and they know that person is working under you. So making that oblivious to both sides of the party, they still gonna deal with you. So I think it is hard for me as well, because we are in the training process and we are branching out to other segments and dealing with other people that we don't know.
Yeah.
But we've created the space, so our client is going to either want to call us before, or reach out and say, can we get some evidence, or can you come back in? We know we have that type of support.
Nice. Okay.
You have to.
You have to.
So
Yeah.
have a confidence in it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, thank you. So how I envision my 2025 to end, of course, more trips. But not only that, also really establish myself with a specific person that I can cater their needs to, as in me advocating for a specific issue that they need me to advocate. That's how I want my 2025 to end, with a lot of trips in between. and a very good pay position. Also having my contracts on the side as an entrepreneur and growing my second business, which is the referral agency I'm opening. So I want to see that expand by 2025. And hey, I have this client. Let me give it out to you. You're next in line. And as I was explaining it earlier, it also depends. Like if this person's busy, then I know this person, for example, Zarel, right? Zarel's always busy for me. Hey, Jose's available. All right, I'm gonna give you this client. You need to talk individual. So now I know their quality of work, right? I can trust them. They're these people I'm working with, obviously they're paying me, so I can refer them clients. And it's a way of networking, it's a way of connecting, and it's a way that I've also been able to have income coming into me, right? Another example would be, for example, I give my sister facial clients. I book them the facial, and she goes, and then she gets paid, and she pays me the percentage. And it's just a way to do it. And
That's love.
yeah, this is
That family dynamic.
yeah. Thank you.
Everything.
It's my second business, so I'm just happy and grateful for these opportunities that I've been able to expose myself into. It has not been easy. There's days I don't sleep because I have to know a specific issue. I can't get up there. I'm featured in 12 different newspapers. I can't go up there and not know what I'm saying, like not know, right? They're gonna look at me crazy. So there's been nights I don't sleep. There's been time I don't have time to like go partying, right? I miss out on big parties. There's time I can't, I don't know, like do things I need to do, and or like the fun part, right? Where it's like partying out all night. I can't do that anymore. But it's also discipline. So I just want to end my year with discipline, full of discipline, and go from it. Yeah.
I was listening intently to the conversation happening here because it actually fell in line with what I was doing prior to coming here. So I love the process, having a roadmap versus specific goals, and that's why I've been structuring myself, especially this year. I just started a few months ago, and so I've found a good rhythm with going by a quarter and having a roadmap. And I love where you said process and a guide and a roadmap where you know where you're going, but you're not too tunneled in where you might miss opportunities like the $100,000 contract. And for myself, as I'm building a foundation, that's my first year is like foundational. Let me learn things, let me explore, let me experiment, what works, what doesn't work. And actually going into quarter two now has been with getting help and kind of systematizing, and like even with having like a virtual assistant. I'd love to connect on that and hear some more tips and seeing how I can also be of service and support you, because kind of like what you mentioned, it's for me being I think growing up very independent. Yeah, it's hard to relinquish something because you have a certain way of doing it, but I also know that for the long term, for myself and my own business and whatever I decide to do, it requires collaboration and being able to trust people and build that space of like, can someone who I'm collaborating with, not just working under me, but collaborating with, can they come to me and feel safe? Can we have these hard conversations, the necessary conversations, and not feel like the dynamic of, because I'm the one who's in charge, they can't speak up or say something.
Thank you.
And so I would love to just hear some of those tips, because I literally was writing it out this morning. And the fact that y'all were having this conversation, I was like, wow.
I'm real big on it.
Bless. But for me, it's very much continuing to build a foundation for the business and experiment. I mean, I've been taking a few different clients in a variety of industries. I'm working with the venture capital fund, in the fitness industry, education industry, now in the therapy industry. And so I'm learning, what is it that sticks with me? What am I best at? What am I not good at? I think identifying that, and I think giving myself the space to do that, and having my roadmap, but also adjusting and adapting as necessary. I don't want to close myself off to opportunities or to learnings just because I'm zeroed in on this one specific goal. And although I am making, at least starting for me, like the revenue has been really well, I know that that's not the end goal for me. It is part of it, but I don't want to zero in on that and lose focus of everything else that I'm working on. So just continue to experiment and having that structure of my roadmap and continuing to create that and kind of ebb and flow and just allow myself to experiment with new things and not be afraid to pivot if when I need to, when something isn't working or serving me, not being afraid to change it and not being so attached to that. So I think it's definitely lessons experimenting trial and error for me so far. But again, the fact that this was brought up in the conversation earlier, I was like, wow, it's a sign. I appreciate that.
All right, guys. Then we'll move on to the next question.
Or do you want to do one last question?
What, the last question?
Yeah. Since we only got a little bit of time, I was gonna do the systems and tools. I could ask it.
Yeah, you want to ask it?
Yeah. So, what is one system or tool that has transformed the way that you do business on a day-to-day?
Let me start first.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. I think the one system that's been really using the CRM from Elias to the high level.
Yep.
The tech start has been these past, when we started implementing it. Also, I learned so much from Elias. The CRM, the automations. All the process, everything has been super easy. When you're working with digital part, that's super easy.
Right.
So I'm able to send that email blast and also have that chat box. Doing those, we're like 30 texts.
Don't worry about it.
I'm like, it's okay. Actually, someone told me, they're like, I'm annoyed because I'm like, is this you? I'm like, no, it's my chat box. And they're like,
I did the same thing.
and I was like, oh my god!
Yo,
Also, I had to turn
so
off
funny.
the mute. I had to turn on the mute on the Metal AI because they were fighting between each other. It was so funny. Then my ball was just trying to close them in the focus session. He's like, what's the situation with real? And then Meta's like, I'm not responding to that question. I'm like, my phone's still like, bing. Can you guys stop? Stop fighting. But the system in place, the thing that Elias has implemented to me for that, my business, and everything he's making is super the highest level at the high level. It's the system that I've been using has been very great for me. And also, that's reason I'm teaching this and everybody using it, going to using the high level CRM, like learning the system more has been very easy to use when you're networking, when you have like automated email. I flew out to California too last week too. And I was just networking and they're like, oh dang, they saw my digital card, they're like, oh dang, you're fancy a tech person. I was like, yeah. But, so the system has been very great. Thank you to Elias. He's the man who makes things happen. For me, it's been amazing, and I always thank him all the time. He's watching too, so just give him a hi. He's watching. Elias, I love you, guys.
Hey, Elias, I love you.
Let
me tell you my tech story with Elias. So when I first came to the Envision Center here, Elias made me a little card with a little black square on it with a bunch of, who knew what it was?
Yeah.
So he was really, really happy that he could give me this little card. I had no idea I had never scanned anything in my life. So, so I want to thank you. So now when I realized, I came back like a year later and he showed me what to do with it. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. So there is a learning curve. So let me just answer the question though. The biggest thing that I use now is the chat GPT. I think that thing is amazing. It made me out to be a gangster when I gave a speech to the it was the Black Panther Party. and Chat GPT said, watch out for the Mother Panther.
That's that one.
So I'm learning this new technology. It's giving me a lot more confidence, to be the real me. Thank you.
Yeah, for me, similar to what Serial said, we build on high level as well. For us, this is the raw AI software. Man, it just transformed everything in the business for me. Like before that, it was us building a lot of systems. So like we're doing advertisements, for example, I would have to build a website on somebody's page. I would have to build their advertisements in the account. I would have to put it together with Zapier to move all the leads back and forth, We would have to have a separate texting software to give them notifications right away. And then we would have to build the email. So doing all this just for one task is now all in one platform. And I can just copy that and paste it into another account over and over if I need to. So it allows me to take our hundreds and hundreds of strategies and SOPs and build it into a system that I can just copy and paste it to somebody else's business for what's relevant to them. And that just like it saves me so much time. I just can remember it, right? Like ChatGPT 2022. And so it's like 2.5 years old now, or doing some change. And it's just like, dude, what were we doing before this? Like, what was I was searching documents. I was reading files.
I know.
Like I was trying to find, I was always the one to find every loophole that was possible, you know, for contracts. I was like, oh, you can go to Google and look up the contract name and then look up file type PDF and it'll bring up the PDFs and then you can take that, make a copy of that, and then you can make it yours. Now you can just ask ChatGPT to write the contract and then you can have it enrich the contract or, you know, expand it based on what you're telling it that you need it to say. And it puts the right vernacular there. You can just give it to a lawyer to peek at it. You can get Legal Shield, $45. They'll peek at it. So really inexpensive versus where it was now. But yeah, using the CRM, I think that just changed the way that I visualize the business, because you don't know how many leads that you're missing and how many connections that you make that you just forget, you know, until you forget, until you see that person again. It's like 3 months later and they're like, yeah, whatever happened? I thought we were going to talk about this and that and the other. We had the money ready and all this, and they make you feel crazy about it. And we had 2,000 ready for you on the spot. You never hit us back. You called us. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So now I have, you know, the pipelines inside of the software that has, you know, what stage that they're at. Like, oh yeah, we met one time. Oh yeah, they booked a call with me. Oh yeah, they showed up and were on a call with me. Oh, they need a follow-up call. So I can kind of see where everybody's at. I can write on them. It just builds better relationships with people overall. So I can keep track of hundreds of people for, you know, top of mind that we have just by organic networking. You know, you meet somebody from 2 weeks prior and you can't remember them now because you've seen 100 faces. So that was one thing that saved me is the CRM.
I have a question for you. Are you using the one that Elias provides, or are you using a separate one?
Yeah, I'm using a separate one. So we have our own that's all branded and stuff like that. Okay. But it allows me to just take all of our systems and we just built it on top of there. So whenever we give somebody an account, it comes with a bunch of crap already. You know what I'm saying? It comes with a bunch of calendars that are built out. We have landing pages built out. We have automations built out, email sequences built out, text message sequences built out, and like all that stuff is already preloaded. I could just change a couple things here and there, change the business name. And well, honestly, now we have it to where you can change some of the stuff on the back end, like the business name, the name of the person that's sending it, the package or the service that they're offering, and we change it on the back end. And all of the campaigns and automations and the websites, landing page, everything, when you get the account is autofill. So it'll take the dynamic text and fill it already.
The new AI voice.
Yeah, and what? That thing is crazy. The voice AI is like the best software. You know how many phone calls I was getting? I was about to I was getting sad about it. Like I was getting a lot of phone calls. I went to visit my dad, and he does, you know, big business and stuff like this as well. But we have as much time working side by side, so he knows what I did. He's never seen me, you know, in full action. He's like, "Damn, you doing this? So you doing that? Okay, I didn't know that. Crazy." And so he always gets on me. My whole family does. Oh, you never answer the phone. Oh, you never answer the phone. We call you, you don't even hit us back. I'm just like, yo, I'm trying my best, right? It wasn't until I had that vacation, I sat next to him. We were working side by side first time. And he was like, all right, yeah, you're somebody who gets more phone calls than me. And that is crazy. And I didn't think that was possible. You know, I'm on a call, and when I'm on a 30-minute call, I've gotten 10 phone calls since I've been on this call. And I'm just getting them out to reach out because people get frustrated. Now I have a voice AI. It'll grab the information, it'll write it down, it'll transcribe it for me, it'll send them the links that they need for me, it'll transfer it to somebody. It doesn't need to go to me, it needs to go to another department. It'll transfer that call to that person. And man, you'd be surprised. And it works because honestly, especially these Gen Zers, Gen Yers, they don't really want to talk to people, to be honest with you. They don't. If they could fill out a form and get everything that they needed. They'll do that. So talking to a bot for them is like nothing, you know. And I tell people, like, you're wasting your time and somebody else's time having a conversation that probably doesn't need to happen. Like, if I could telepathically give you the information for you to start working, I think we would all prefer that. But like, this is the next best step, is like you giving them the information without having to take yours and their time. Like taking two people's time for that one interaction, it's like natural. This is organic conversation. This is how we live. This is, you know, society. But in business, man, we can expand so much faster by just putting this one thing there. And it's like, if you have the CRM already, you have access to that software already. You just set it up and it's there. Set it and forget it. Mm-hmm.
So for me, the biggest tool that I feel like I use on a daily basis is this wonderful woman right here. As a sister, like, we grew up together, you know, and I know you could probably speak to it, like, you know, your sister gonna tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, she not gonna sugarcoat it. We can bounce those ideas off of each other. Like, I know even if I go into a meeting by myself, I'm never alone.
Right.
And that speaks so much more volume than anything, because, you know, the entrepreneur road is not for the weak. The no's, the people look
It's
at
for the
you
crazy.
like,
It's for the crazy. Yeah.
It's so much going on in the world, and you're just trying to manage a balance, and then having somebody who I know is not only going to be supportive but inspirational and keep it real at the same time. Like, I swear, I know we wouldn't be where we are today without each other. So definitely the biggest tool, and you can't replace this. Like,
Right. You can't program something to be
right.
Yeah.
Right. Sister, business partners, best friends. Like, I cherish it in a way that I didn't even think that I could or know that I could. And she looking like that because I've been throwing out appreciation all that she got. Like, she's the best aunt / co-parent. She's the best business partner, sister. Like, I thank my parents for what they did.
Keep going so she can start crying on camera. I see it on the way.
I was snatching that because you've been doing that all day. But I think that they like it.
No, but I'll piggyback off of that and say, yes, that is real. A lot of people ask us, how do we operate together? Like, we just had a meeting the other day, and somebody said, do you guys argue? And I was like, we do. We do. But we do find a happy medium in it. Everything that you do see on our social media is real. And we come raw. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
Raw marketing. It's raw and it's dope marketing.
Yeah, let's go.
So we do. I think if everybody could relate and value each other and uplift each other as well, because it takes a lot of that. And we do this throughout the day on a regular day basis. Show some gratitude to each other so we can keep it going.
Absolutely.
Well, pass it down that way.
See, every time I want to shout out my sister, she's not here.
That's probably why she left.
So I think we've been doing it all day. Yes, I also have to give her a huge shout out one more time, because again, she's not only I hate the word assistant. I hate it, right? But she's like my partner. You know, we're co-owners for one business, and then she has her own business, and then I have my own business. So things she can't get done, I help her. Things I can't get done, she helps me, right? And I'm like, hey, I can do this video for you, even though I'm like, I don't want to do it. I know, but she gave me the same energy. I got to put in the same energy. So yeah, just that. But going back to your question, how I really, I don't do the CRM. I have to be quite honest. My phone at some point was all CRM on my phone. I'm like, okay, everyone's on CRM right now. Like, I'm on everyone's CRM. I'm on everyone's data right now. So I had to get control back on my phone, and I had to really put like stop on everyone because I didn't have normal conversations. I was having conversations with the CRMs, and I'm just like, okay, I can't keep doing this. So I started just keep gaining back control of my privacy and put stuff on everyone's CRM. And I do apologize. I know you guys will see that. And don't take it personal. I need to take back control of my phone. I'll give you my email if needed. I'll do that for sure. I have one email specifically where I get all my promo business deals or whatever, and then I have one that's for my business and one where I do my personal just personal email, like health related, doctors and all that stuff. So I have 3 different emails: a business, a personal one, and one where all my CRMs individuals are going to. And that's how I'm moving. I don't have a CRM system. How I'm doing it is by doing it on spreadsheets. And you can probably attest that one of the videos on my Instagram, the audio for some reason ended. And it's a really good tip you gave me earlier this year when I was first new here. Always have control of your own social media. Always have control of your own videos, photos, and all that. And Zarel can also thank you for that tip as well, because it is true. Like I was, all right, can't control that audio. Let me go ahead and repost it. I have the original video. I took it with my phone. It's something I created. I'm gonna go ahead and repost it now, and I was able to repost it. So I don't think right now I need that. I will in the future. Not saying I won't. I will in the future, but because it's still like an ongoing process, I'm still on spreadsheets, and then I will be going into a CRM.
Very nice.
I got a lot of CRMs to explore because that's one of the things that I wrote down too this morning about exploring CRMs and experiments. Sounds like go high level. I have a few of those listed, but definitely.
That's the one I'm telling you. Don't waste your time. I'm like HubSpot certified. I'm certified in a bunch of different shit already. Like that's my favorite one. So.
No, I'm gonna look into it. For me, it's been using like ChatGPT and a few other programs I've used, at least like even before the business, for different things. If I had meetings, I love Otter AI for transcription, sending me sort of the next action steps. And if I'm not in a meeting, it can capture it for me, so I don't have to be in a specific meeting if I don't need to be. That has been a lifesaver for me. I love Loom as well, especially when working with clients, especially because I'm starting out and doing more one-on-ones, and then slowly we'll be expanding with hiring and onboarding people to work with and collaborate with me. Has been great with showing clients like this is what's been done, this is what we're working on. Instead of having to hop on a meeting, I will just go through everything, send them a link, and they can go through kind of this video walkthrough because of our schedules that conflict. So when that doesn't happen, I just send a Loom video. It's absolute time saver and game changer for me, on top of actually having meetings with each other. But I think for me, the biggest system for me, and this goes back to the beginning about with health, has been prioritizing my health and having, for me especially, a morning routine. I think for me, mornings in my routine is where it's the foundation of my day.
It is.
And I take it very seriously with having at least 1 to 2 hours for myself, because the rest of the hours are to the business, to other people, to the outside world. So I make sure that I'm very intentional with my mornings and ensuring that I'm down. Very intentional with my mornings and ensuring that I can show up as the best version of myself before I give to anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, no matter if I wake up early, sleep late, I will make sure to go through my routine so I can pour in myself before I pour into others. And so everything health related for me has been part of my system, because if my physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual health is not in check and where it needs to be, I can't do anything else. So that's been it for me, and it's continuously exploring what are the best habits and activities and things that I need to do for myself to ensure that I can show up as the best version of myself in my business, in my personal life, with my family, my friends, and with the community and the outside world too.
Ready to do the outro? Yeah. There's no mic. Ready to do the outro? Let's get. I know. Hey, I know. All right. Let's do the outro, man. Let's do the outro. You do the outro.
Man, so thank you for sitting with us today. And if you've made it this far for the roundtable, we do appreciate you 110-fold. You guys here are just amazing minds. Everything that you guys do, I really appreciate it. People into people to your guys' businesses that I can. And I hope you guys continue to do that amongst each other. Everybody here, please guys out. I'm gonna let you guys shout out your business or website or anything that you want to the crowd. For me, it's just breezefromraw.com. All of my businesses and stuff are there.
I'm Catherine Duncan. You can find me right over here on the historic website at the Harrison House, 1001 F Street. I like it when you come in person and spend some time. You know, it's not like you can't go into church and look at it and get the experience. You have to come into Harrison House and sit with us and be with us and experience what we're doing. And you can find me on the social media, harrisonhouselv.org. Thank you.
I love her. Letitia Johnson and
LaBrisha Johnson. And every time we do that, she hand me the mic because I gotta know all the stuff. No,
she know where we at. She know where to find us.
So you can find us on Instagram at BCS7164. You can message us there about getting services. We're also on Google and every other platform.
What about
as well.
Facebook? Let's go.
All right, guys, you can catch me on all the platforms at Surreal Cruise, right? And then my Instagram is Surreal Cruise Official. And then my business page is Oscuro Creations. Name it Oscuro. It means dark creations. Yeah, it's dark creations. We dark. No, just in a good way, okay? Not in a bad way, okay? We're bringing the light to the shadow, okay? That's all right. I know that. That's what I made it up. I mean, that was the reason I was naming. Sorry. Bring the light to the darkness with the camera and the lights. All right.
Camera, lights, action. Okay. I don't have a business website as of yet, but you can find me anywhere as Tessie Angel Ramirez, my authentic self. On Instagram, it's Tessie the Dreamer, literally and figuratively. So it's TEISSYANGL, the Dreamer.
Alan Cruz again with Poderoso Media, PODEROSO media.com. And translation, Poderoso just means powerful. And that did come out of the health journey with owning who I am and owning my power in every sense of the way. So you can find all the social medias and a way to contact me through there. Thank you.
All right. And I appreciate y'all. We're out, man, in the live while I stand here.